Hello everyone, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club, and welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're going to continue with episode 2 of our playthrough of A Touch of Evil, 10-year anniversary edition against the epic version of the Spectral Horseman. I have one quick correction to make from the previous video. When the shadow track crossed into the next stage, we should have moved the rider's skull to a new location. So what we're going to do is pick a layer card and move the skull to that location. New location for the skull is going to be at the shipwreck. So we'll replace that prior location at the marsh and we'll move it to the shipwreck. Well, to start off this next round, we've got two of our investigators are unconscious. They're KO'd at the monastery. Now that occurred during the mystery phase, so they're going to lose their turn, unfortunately. That's what's very dangerous. If those guys get KO'd during the mystery phase, you've got to wait till the next mystery phase in order to recover. So we're only going to have two players during this turn, and that's going to be Harlow Morgan. He's our first player, and then Anne-Marie, the school teacher, and they're on the Shadowbrook board. We'll begin with Harlow Morgan. He has one wound, and he's at the crossroads right now, and he has 4 investigation. His genius ability will earn him a investigation token to start the turn. And that moves him up to 5 investigation. So, I think what we'll do is we'll begin by having him roll for move. And we'll see where we want to move him to. Okay, he's got a 5, so 5 movement points, and he needs some healing, so I think we're going to send him up to the inn, and we'll have him move there. So he'll move 5 spaces, 1, 2, 3, well actually 4, so he'll move up to the inn. So Harlow arrives at the inn. There's no minions there, and it says before encountering, he can gain 2 investigation or heal a wound, and obviously we're going to heal the wound, so we will remove the wound from him, and he's back to fully healed. Now he's going to encounter the space, and we're going to draw an inn card. And the corner location themes, the inn focuses on cunning, allies, and unique rooms to stay in. So let's draw a card and see what happens. And he draws the card, Ghosts in the Hall, Investigation Danger. Turning the corner, you stop dead. Ghostly apparition drifts towards you with soulless eyes and a malicious heart. You must immediately choose to escape or make a Spirit 6+ test. If the test is successful, gain D6 investigation. If failed, take D3 wounds and discard an item or ally. Well, given those choices, Harlow Morgan only has a Spirit of 2, so I think we are going to choose to escape. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to have him escape to the road space headed towards the monastery. So we'll have him escape to the road space, and that's going to end his turn. Whenever you escape, your turn ends immediately. All right, we'll move on now to, it would be Lucy Handbrook's turn, but she is KO'd. So we'll move on to Anne-Marie, and she is at the Old Woods. All right, Anne-Marie has 1 wound and she has 1 investigation. So we'll have her make a roll for move and see what happens. Okay, here's her movement roll. Now she has a cavalry horse that she picked up at the Old Woods. That's going to give her +1 to move. She rolls a 5, so that's modified to a 6. She's got 6 movement points. And let's see what we can do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we're going to send her to the doctor's office and she can heal that wound that she's got there. So we'll have her move 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the doctor's office. We have a barricade there already. And she gets to draw an event card, so we will have her do that. She'll encounter the space and draw an event. She draws the event. You go first. Event. Play this card when any hero, including yourself, takes 1 or more wounds in a fight. Prevent all those wounds and instead choose one ally that the hero must discard. The flavor text is, I'll be right behind you. Okay, so we'll add that to our tableau of cards, and basically I have to find some event cards where we can prevent wounds, because when this Spectral Horseman goes on his endless ride, he's got that ability where if he wounds any character, the shadow track drops by 1, and we're already at 13 right now, so I have to find ways to defend against that. Otherwise this track is going to just go at too quick of a pace. So now she is going to do the heal action at the doctor's office. So she's going to pay 1 investigation and heal the wound that she has, and she's now fully fit. And that's going to bring her turn to a close, and unfortunately now we move on to the mystery phase. There's the other 2 characters are down for the count. So our first player, Harlow Morgan, will resolve the mystery phase, and we begin by adding a dread token to the shadows, and then we have to make a roll, and now we need to get a 5 or 6. Otherwise we have to draw one of those event cards. So we'll make the roll and see what happens. We need to get a 5 or 6. He rolls a 1. Okay, so we have failed that. What's going to happen now is all the dread tokens are removed, and we have to resolve one of those encounter cards. And this is the first time we're looking at one of these. So let's see what we've got. An epic villain encounter. All right, this one reads Thundering Hooves. Epic encounter. Draw a random location and place the Spectral Horseman there. Then draw another random location to determine where he is headed. The Spectral Horseman then rides the shortest path, disappearing after reaching the target space, fighting heroes along the way as a relentless charge. The Spectral Horseman is +2 to combat during any fights this ride. Oh no. All right, well, we're going to draw a layer card and place him there. He is going to be at the abandoned keep. And his target location is going to be the old woods. So we're pretty lucky there. That's not going to affect anyone. So the Spectral Horseman appears at the abandoned keep, and he's going to ride to the old woods using the most direct path. So his path goes through the marsh, he gets to the old woods and disappears, and that won't affect any of our characters, thank goodness. All right, our next step now during the mystery phase is our KO'd heroes can stand up. So we're back to full strength here again at the monastery. And both of those characters are now fully healed. And now we're going to move on to our mystery phase chart roll. So we're going to make 2d6 roll and see what happens. Okay, here is the roll. We rolled a 9. Okay, so the result is 9, and we'll read what that is. And that is Unnatural Storm. A powerful supernatural storm is blown over the town. Immediately discard any mystery card in play that is keyword weather. Also roll once on the villain's minion chart, re-rolling any non-event result to see what evil the storm has brought. If the villain attacks during the storm, it does so at a random location and is +3 combat. Okay, so we're going to make a roll on the minion chart. Now that's also a 2d6 roll, and we have to re-roll any non-event results. Okay, here is the minion chart roll. And we rolled a 9. Let's see what that is. And 9 is an event. Eyes in the dark. All minions move 3 spaces along the shortest path to the town hall. If there are no minions on the board, instead place a Barghast Hound minion at 3 random locations. All right, well, the Barghast Hound has 4 fight dice, 2 health, and it has the abilities Chase and Relentless Hunting. All right, let's draw 3 random locations and see where these things are going. First one is going to Smuggler's Cove. Okay, there's no one there. That's good. Next one is going to be placed at the lighthouse. And the third one will be placed at the covered bridge. Okay, so we got lucky. All three of those locations there are no investigators at. So we'll place the Barghast Hounds in those spaces. Now the Barghast Hound has those special abilities. Chase. At the start of each mystery phase moves 2 spaces toward the nearest hero. If more than one, targets the hero with the highest honor. Fight immediately as normal if this enemy enters the hero's space. And then he's got Relentless Hunting. When defeated, roll a d6. On a 4+, the hero must place a Barghast Hound back in play in any empty named space on the board. So those are tough to get rid of. Okay, our next step is going to be to draw the mystery card. And we draw the card Murder, Mystery Death. The villain has struck again. Place 3 investigation on the board at a random location. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. And the flavor text is, "Don't any of you people understand? This is no accident. It's murder." All right, we're going to draw a random location and place 3 investigation there. And then because of the Spectral Horseman's Endless Ride ability that kicks in when the card Murder is drawn, he's going to do his Relentless Charge from there. Location is the windmill. Okay, that isn't too bad. So we're going to place 3 investigation at the windmill, and he's going to begin his Relentless Charge from there. And we're lucky because he is going to move towards the town hall. 1, 2. Now he enters the barricade. Now when he does that, the barricade is removed and he is removed. So that is how that works. So we're going to have to rebuild that barricade. And that is going to bring the round to a close. We're going to move our first player marker from Harlow Morgan to Lucy Hanbrook. And she is going to begin her turn at the monastery. And I almost forgot that Murder mystery card advances the shadow track 1 space. So they're going to move into a new stage. And that's going to give him +2 more wounds. And then we once again have to move the Rider's Skull to a new location. So we'll draw a layer card and see where that's being moved to. It's going to the town hall. Okay, that is interesting. So we'll move that Rider's Skull to the town hall. All right, Lucy Hanbrook is recovered at the monastery, so she's going to make a roll for movement. Now, she has a horse. That'll give her +1, and she has 2 investigation currently. So we'll see where she's going to move to. Okay, here's the roll. She rolls a 1, so that'll be modified to a 2, and the 1 allows her to draw an event card. She draws the event Entourage. Play immediately. Play this card on any hero. That hero may now carry up to 2 additional ally cards. These may be from any location and or ally town items. Remains in play. All right, let's see who would benefit the most from that. Well, I would think that Harlow Morgan would probably benefit the most from that because he has that constant supply of investigation coming in, and he'll probably more than likely have a better chance of acquiring allies. So we'll give that card to Harlow Morgan. And Lucy's going to take her moves now. She has 2 movement points. I guess we'll just move her along the road towards the inn. She'll meet up with Harlow Morgan on the road. And that's going to bring her turn to a close. We'll move on to Anne-Marie. All right, Anne-Marie is at the doctor's office, and she has no investigation and no wounds. So I guess we will have her make a roll for movement. Now, we got a Barghast Hound on that board, but she's really not in a position to do anything about that. Her combat's only a 2. We need to get her some book items would be great. So here's her roll for move. She has the cavalry horse, +1. She rolls a 2, and that's going to be modified to a 3. So she's got 3 movement points. And I guess we'll start heading her up towards the windmill. There's some investigation up there. So I think what I'll do is I'll have her move 2 spaces, 1, 2 into the blacksmith. At least she can draw an event card there, and that's what she will do. She'll encounter the space, and she draws the event Recovery. Play at any time except during a fight round to immediately heal D6 wounds from a hero or D3 wounds from a villain. Or play to immediately take any ally out of any discard pile. That's interesting. All right. We'll add that to our tableau of cards. She has no money to spend or no investigation, so she can't buy any town items. So that's going to bring her turn to a close. And we'll move on now to Heinrich Cartwright. He is at the monastery. All right, Heinrich Cartwright is going to roll for move. He's fully healed right now. He needs some weapons. He rolls a 3, so he's got 3 movement points. And I could take a chance and send him to the Forgotten Island, I guess. That's a possibility. That's kind of risky. I guess we'll do it. He's going to move 1 into the North Dock and then spend 2 movement points to cross the lake in a boat, and he arrives at the Forgotten Island. Now, the Forgotten Island corner theme is focuses on extreme danger, curses, and powerful items. So we'll see if we can get lucky here. We'll have him investigate at the Forgotten Island. And he draws the card Moonstone Talisman, item magic. You may cancel the first hit done to you each fight round by a beast enemy. All right, well, the villain is Ghost and Relentless. So that won't work against him, but the Barghast Hound maybe? No, that's Undead Ghost. Spectral Cavalry is Undead Ghost. So, no, we don't have any beasts in the game, so that won't be real useful to us, but it does give him 1 extra health box. So we'll give that to Heinrich Cartwright, and that's going to bring his turn to a close. All right, next up is Harlow Morgan. We're going to use his Genius ability, and he's going to gain an investigation token. That's going to be his 6th. So, we actually have enough to purchase one of those special items, a villain hunting gear card. Those cost 5, so we might want to think about that. We'll begin by Harlow Morgan's movement roll. And he rolls a 4, so he has no wounds on him. I think we're going to have him go to the monastery, and maybe he can do a little shopping there with his funds. So I'll have him move 1 and 2 into the monastery. All right, Harlow arrives at the monastery, and we're going to have him draw a monastery card and see what happens. He draws the card Book of Life, item, book, holy. At the start of each of your turns or showdown fight rounds, you may heal 1 wound. Discard to fully heal except during a fight round. That's a great card, and if we can get that book to Anne-Marie, she is going to be able to use that with her Knowledge is Power ability. She gains +2 combat for each book, so that would be a very good item for her. Unfortunately, she's back at the blacksmith on the Shadowbrook board. So that is going to bring that card to a close, and now Harlow Morgan can do some shopping at the monastery, and we'll see what he wants to do. Well, his options would be to go through and pick out some of the monastery items he can purchase, or we could invest 5 investigation and try to get one of that hunting gear cards. And I'm not sure what we should do. Well, just for the sake of the game, let's do the hunting gear. So he's going to pay 5 investigation. And we'll see what hunting gear card he gets. We draw that randomly, so we don't know what it is. His hunting gear card is Watchman Phillips, Mark Survivor, Hunting Gear Ally Military. Gain +X combat when X is equal to the current number of dread markers on the shadow track. Anytime the horseman performs a relentless charge, he rides the shortest distance path to you instead of the town hall. At the start of each fight round, you are in with the Spectral Horseman, pay 2 investigation or discard this ally. So that's kind of a 50-50 there. All right, well, he's got the Watchman Phillips for the time being. And that's going to bring Harlow Morgan's turn to a close, and we'll move on to the mystery phase. And Lucy Hanbrook is our first player. All right, we're going to begin by placing a dread token in the shadows, and we're going to make a roll. And on a result of 1, we're going to have to resolve an encounter. Here is the roll. She rolls a 6, so we are in good shape, and we'll proceed on. All right, now we're at the start of the mystery phase, and unfortunately the Barcast Hound has this ability Chase. At the start of each mystery phase, moves 2 spaces toward the nearest hero. Fight immediately as normal if this enemy enters the hero's space. So all of those Barcast Hounds will move 2 spaces towards the nearest heroes. So the Barcast Hound is going to move 2 spaces towards the stone bridge, and the one at the lighthouse will move to that crossroads area on the coast board. Then we have one at the covered bridge, and that's going to be targeting Anne Marie. So it'll move 2 spaces towards her into the magistrate's office. All right. Lucy Handbrook is our first player, so she'll be making the roll for the cooperative mystery chart roll. Here is the result. She rolls a 5, and that is Darkness Falls. The shadow track immediately moves D3 steps toward darkness. The heroes may collectively take 5 wounds divided as they see fit to prevent this. No hero may take more wounds than they have health boxes. So we'll make a D3 roll and determine if that's something we want to do. Okay, here is the roll. Result is a 2, so we would have to move the shadow track down 2 spaces, or everybody is going to take a wound. And another one will have to take a second wound. Nobody's wounded right now, so I think we will do that to prevent that shadow track from going down. So all players will take 1 wound, and Heinrich Cartwright will take the second wound because he has that Moonstone Talisman that gives him a 5th wound box. So I think we'll handle it that way. And our final step of the round is going to be to draw a mystery card, and we'll see what Lucy pulls. She pulls the mystery card, Late Night Experiments, Mystery Death. If Dr. Manning is still alive, roll a d6 for every ally and animal item currently in play, including unsold town items. On the roll of a 5+, remove them from the game. And it says, don't worry, it will be quick and painless. Okay, so I'll do that off camera. We'll go through the town items deck, taking into account those allies there, and any allies that we have in play. I'll make the rolls for them and then report the results. It's not good. All right, I've made all of the rolls, and the only casualty is the malicious soldier from the town items deck. So it looks like Dr. Manning might have clubbed the malicious soldier over the head and did some experiments on him. So he is out of the game, and that's going to bring the round to a close. Our first player marker moves to Anne Marie. She's at the blacksmith. All right, Anne Marie is up next for the new round, and she has 1 wound with a cavalry horse. We'll have her move. Rolls a 4, and that's going to be modified to a 5, and I think we're going to send her up to the manor. So she'll move 1, 2, 3, 4 up to the manor, and we'll have her encounter at the manor and see what happens there. And she draws the card, The Bleeding Wall, Investigation. After dinner, the silence is broken by the scream of a servant girl. Rushing to the study, you are aghast to discover the west wall apparently bleeding. Is this trickery or a dark sign of things to come? Make a combined Cunning and Spirit 5+ test and gain 1 investigation for every 5+ roll. That is great. All right, Anne Marie's combined Cunning and Spirit is 7, so we'll have her roll 7 dice. We're looking for 5s or greater. And she has only 1 success, unfortunately, so she'll earn 1 investigation. That'll bring her turn to a close. All right, we'll move on to Heinrich Cartwright. He has 2 wounds right now, so he's got 2 of his 5 available health boxes are filled. We'll have him make a roll for movement. Now, he's on the island, so it's going to take a minimum of 2 movement points in order to leave there. Otherwise, he's going to have to remain there, and that's going to be lingering. So here's the roll. And of course, he rolled a 1. What else would it be? He's going to draw an event card. He draws the event, duck, and roll. Play at any time to prevent up to 2 wounds to any hero, including yourself, or play to cancel a roll on any chart and re-roll. So that's a good card. Now, unfortunately, Heinrich Cartwright doesn't have enough movement points to leave the island, so he is going to have to linger there. There's no choice in the matter. So we're going to make a roll, and this is a linger roll. We're going to roll a die, and on a result of 1, he's going to get attacked. We'd have to roll in the minion chart. Here's the roll. He rolled a 6, luckily, so we're in good shape there. And he'll have to remain on the island, and he will have to do a Forgotten Island encounter. He draws the card Attacked. Fight. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. The flavor text is, I thought I heard something. Okay, so we're going to roll on the minion chart, and it doesn't mean it's going to be a minion. It could be an event as well. Whenever it says work out the result, it just means make the roll and resolve it. And here's the minion chart roll. Result is a 7, and that's the horseman rides tonight. The villain attacks. The hero immediately must resolve a single fight round, and he'll be earning 1 investigation for each hit he does. All right, so that is what will happen. Okay, so Heinrich Cartwright will be rolling 2 dice. That is his combat ability. He's already got 2 wounds out of his 5. So we'll see what happens. The Spectral Horseman gets 5 combat, and as long as Heinrich's spirit is above 3, we're in good shape. And it is. He has a spirit of 4. So that means that the Spectral Horseman will be rolling 5 combat dice. Okay, we'll make the rolls and see what happens. Okay, well, Heinrich did 2 hits. But unfortunately, the Spectral Horseman has done 3 hits. So let's see what kind of event cards we have that we might be able to play. All right, Heinrich is going to play Near Miss, and that says force a hero, minion, or villain to re-roll all of their successful hits just rolled. So we're going to force them to re-roll those 3 hits, and we'll see what happens with that. Might help us. And they still got 2 hits. Okay, so we're looking at 2 hits each. Let's see if we've got any other events we could use. And I guess he's going to play the card Duck and Roll. Play any time to prevent up to 2 wounds to any hero, including yourself. So that means that is the results of the combat. Heinrich is going to earn 2 investigation for inflicting 2 hits on the Spectral Horseman, and that's going to end the combat. Now he's going to go on his spectral ride. So the Spectral Horseman will go onto his endless ride. He'll move through the South Dock, through the crossroads, across the covered bridge, and disappearing into the town hall. He won't affect anyone else, which is great. And we have one change to that, and that is this card, Watchman Phillips. It says here that anytime the horseman performs a relentless charge, he rides the shortest path to you instead. So, in that case, that would be Harlow Morgan. He had the Watchman Phillips with him. So in this case, he's not going to ride towards the town hall. He's going to ride towards Harlow Morgan and the Watchman Phillips. All right. Now, Watchman Phillips gives us X to combat, X being equal to the number of dread tokens. We have 1 there, so that would give him a +1 to his combat. But it says here at the start of each fight round, you are in with the Spectral Horseman. We have to pay 2 investigation or discard the ally. So we don't have enough investigation. Harlow's only got 1. So that means that Watchman Phillips is discarded, unfortunately. And now we have to do a combat against Harlow Morgan. Harlow's going to gain 1 die. He only has a combat value of 1. His spirit is only a 2, so that is going to also affect the strength of the Spectral Horseman. And that's going to give him +3 to his combat because of the Deadly Spectre ability. So that means that the Spectral Horseman will be rolling 8 dice for this attack. And we'll make the rolls. 8 dice for the horseman, 1 for us. Okay, that is a cocked die. We'll re-roll that. Okay, I still have a cocked die here. That was a hit. Okay, so it looks like each side, the horseman did 2 hits, and Harlow Morgan did 1. So he's going to gain 1 investigation for that. And now he has to get 2 hits, and that's unfortunately going to KO him unless I have an event card I can use. And unfortunately, no, I don't have the ability to cancel those, so that means that Harlow Morgan is going to be KO'd. And we'll have to make a roll to see how much investigation or items he has to surrender. Okay, the roll's a 1, so that's pretty good. He'll give up 1 investigation, and that's going to bring Harlow Morgan. His turn is done. Before it even starts, he's already KO'd. There's nothing we can do with that. Yeah, so Harlow, that wasn't even his turn. That was the leftover portion of Heinrich's turn with that Horseman Rides Tonight. So now we would move on to Harlow. He is KO'd, so there's nothing we can do with him. He'll have to skip his turn. We'll move on to Lucy Hanbrook, and she is on the path near the inn. All right, Lucy begins the turn. She has youth. It heals 1 wound at the start of each of her turns. So she's going to heal the 1 wound that she has, and now we'll make her roll for move. She's completely healed. Here's the roll. She rolls a 1. She has +1 from the horse, so that will gain her 2 movement points. And I think what we'll do is we'll have her draw her event card first, and I think she's going to end up moving to the inn. She draws the card Betrayal. Play at any time except during a fight round to choose an ally with a hero and roll a d6. On a roll of 3+, the chosen ally immediately steals 1 item from the hero's choice, and runs off. Discard the item and ally. Or play if there is at least 1 evil elder alive and add a resolve token to any 2 elders. Okay, that's a pretty decent card. All right, Lucy has 2 movement points, and her choices would be either to go to the inn or to the monastery. She's got 2 investigation available. I guess we'll send her to the inn, and then she's going to encounter the space, and she can gain 2 investigation before investigating the location. So we'll give her 2 investigation. That moves her up to 4, and now she'll do a draw at the inn. She draws the inn card. Hello, stranger. Investigation Demon. Sebastian Skinner joins you at the bar with a smile. You look like you could use a drink. Make a spirit and honor 6+ test and gain 3 investigation for every 6+ rolled. If failed, immediately discard 1 item or ally or take d6 wounds. Okay, Lucy has a spirit of 3 and an honor of 4, so she'll be rolling 7 dice for the test, and she's looking for 6s. And here's her combined test. And she's got 2 6s. That is great. That's going to earn her 6 investigation. Outstanding. And that's going to move Lucy up to 10 investigation, and that would be enough to allow her to gain her upgrade card. That would give her +1 to combat and an extra wound box. Plus all town items at the blacksmith would cost her 1 less than normal. So I think we'll do that. We're going to upgrade Lucy Hanbrook. She's going to pay 10 investigation, and then we have to surrender an event card. And I think to complete that transaction, she's going to get rid of the You Go First event card, and now Lucy is our first investigator that has an upgrade, and that's great. And that's going to complete the round, and we'll move on to the mystery phase, and that's going to be resolved by Anne-Marie. We'll begin the resolution by adding a dread token into the shadows and making a roll. We're looking for anything above a 2 would be great. We rolled a 3, so we're safe. We don't have to resolve any encounters. Now we'll move on to the start of the mystery phase, and all of the Barghest hounds now are going to move 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. So these Barghest hounds are going to be moving closer to the investigators. And we have 1 at the magistrate's office that'll move to the church pursuing Anne-Marie. Yeah, we're going to have to get rid of those things, but they're hard to get rid of. That's the problem. They've got that special ability, and that is relentless hunting. And after we defeat them, we roll a d6, and there's a 50-50 chance that they're going to have to be placed back on the board. Our next step is for KO'd investigators to stand up. So Harlow Morgan stands up. All right, next up is the cooperative mystery phase roll. Here is the roll. Result is a 6, and we'll see what that is. A 6 is March of Darkness. Every minion on the board immediately moves 2 spaces along the shortest path to the town hall. If there are no minions on the board, roll once on the villain's minion chart and place that minion in 2 locations. Well, they're here. So in this case, the Barghast Hound is going to move towards the town hall, and the 2 on the Echo Lake board and on the coast board are also going to move. Now, when on the coast board, those creatures move towards the town square. So that's what this one is going to do, 1 and 2. The one at the south dock is going to move towards the town hall on Shadowbrook. So that will move 2 spaces towards that. And that will be the resolution of that cooperative mystery phase chart roll. We'll move on to drawing a mystery card. And we draw the mystery card, A Tavern's Tall Tale, Mystery Hysteria. If the Harbor Master is still alive, which he is, anytime a hero wants to look at the secrets of a town elder, they must first pass an Honor 5+ test. If failed, any investigation or cards used are wasted. So that card remains in play, and we'll place that on the Harbor Master. And so the first player marker passes from Anne-Marie to Heinrich Cartwright, and we're ready for another round, beginning with Heinrich at the Forgotten Island. Okay, we'll begin with a movement roll for Heinrich, and once again, we need to get more than a 1 to get off the island. Here's the roll. We rolled a 4, so he's got 4 movement points. That's pretty good. And I think he might head for the monastery. So we'll have him move 2 movement points and 3 into the monastery. Okay, Heinrich has reached the monastery, and we'll have him encounter the space, and we'll draw a monastery card. The monastery focuses on spirit, health, and the Order of the Crimson Hand. Those are the most prevalent cards there. And we'll draw the card. He draws the card Test of Torment, Investigation Danger. Captured and held as a witch, you are put to the test of torment. It's okay, though, if you don't survive. Then you would have been found innocent. Make a Combat 5+ test using your base combat skill. If successful, gain an honor marker. If failed, take d6 wounds. Okay, his base combat is 2. So we'll roll the 2 dice, and we're looking for 5s or greater. He's done it. He's got a 6, so he's going to take a +1 honor marker, which is outstanding. That'll move his honor up to 5. Now Heinrich is at the monastery, and he can visit the monastery shop, and we'll see what he can buy. He's got only 2 investigation, but I'm sure he can maybe get something that's good. And I think Heinrich is going to purchase the services of a guide. He can discard the guide to cancel and redraw any location card he's just drawn, and I think that will be useful. So we'll spend the 1 investigation and gain the guide, give us a little flexibility in our draws. And I think before he closes his turn out, he's going to play the card Recovery. Play it any time except during a fight round to heal d6 wounds from a hero. So that's what we'll do. Heinrich has 2 wounds currently, so we'll have him heal a d6 amount. He rolls a 4, so he'll be fully healed. That was a good use of the card. That will bring Heinrich's turn to a close. We'll move on to Harlow Morgan. He's at the monastery as well. Okay, Harlow will begin with a movement roll. Now, Harlow has a Book of Life. It says at the start of each of your turns, you may heal 1 wound. And that's what Harlow's going to do. He has a wound. He'll heal that with the Book of Life card. And also, he has the Genius ability that gives him a investigation every round. So he's up to 2 investigation. And now we'll have him roll for move. He rolls a 4, so he's got 4 movement points. to use. And, well, let's see here. I think we're going to try to get him to the coast, maybe. There's 3 investigation at the icy waters. Unfortunately, that's going to take a little bit to get there, so we'll do that. He's going to make a move. He's got 4 movement points. I've decided to change that. I think I'm going to move Harlow to the inn. He can gain some investigation there, and Lucy is there, which we have some event cards that allow us to use them if there's other characters there, so that might be a good spot for us. I'll have him move 1, 2, and 3 to the inn. All right. We have to remember that these Hargast hounds are going to be moving 2 spaces during the mystery phase, so we got to make sure we keep a 2-space buffer with them if we don't want to get attacked. And we have to get somebody here that's got some real firepower to try to take these creatures out. Unfortunately, our highest combat level is 2, so not so good. Anyway, Harlow has arrived at the inn. Harlow's going to begin by taking advantage of the text. It says gain 2 investigation before an encounter. So that'll move him up to 4 investigation. And then he's going to encounter the space at the inn. So far he does not have an inn card, so that's good. He draws the card Room 216, Danger Room Demon. Hearing strange noises from the adjacent rooms, you go next door and knock. The door opens by itself, and from seated within the shadows, Sebastian Skinner beckons you in with a slippery voice. Make a cunning 6+ test. If successful, gain 2d6 investigation, or take any item or ally out of any discard pile. If failed, take d6 wounds. All right. Well, cunning is Harlow Morgan's specialty. He has a cunning of 4. So we'll have him make the roll. He's looking for a 6. Okay, here is the roll. And he's done it. He's got 2 successes. It says here, if successful, gain 2d6 investigation. So let's make the roll and see what he gets. I hope this is a high number. Here's the roll. He rolls a 7, so that's good. We'll take 7 investigation for Harlow Morgan. All right, that gives Harlow Morgan 11 investigation, and I think we're going to use that for his upgrade. His upgrade is Brilliant. +1 to Cunning, 1 extra health box, and then Brilliant. You may now draw an event card when rolling a 1 or 6 for movement. So I think we'll do that. He's going to spend the 10 investigation, and then we have to discard an event card to gain that. So let's pick one that doesn't hurt us too badly. I think he'll surrender this Betrayal event card, and then that's going to earn Harlow Morgan his upgrade, which is a good one. Now he has 4 health boxes. That's great. And that's going to bring his turn to a close. All right, Lucy Hanbrook is up next. She has a horse and her upgrade. So we will have her roll a die. Her movement is 5 modified to a 6. So she's got 6 movement points, and I think I'm going to try to get her towards maybe the windmill or the coast board. I don't know. I think we'll try to get her back towards the windmill, but we got to keep enough space with these Barghest hounds. We don't want her getting attacked by them. Well, I'd like to get her to the windmill, but there's a Barghest hound that is blocking the way, and it's a little too tough for her to get to attack. It has 4 attack dice. She would only have 2 at this point. So I guess she's going to have to use that movement and move around the other way. So I'll have her move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll have her go to the Forgotten Island. We'll try that. This might be a little too risky, but we'll try it. We got to try to break out of this funk here. So we'll draw a Forgotten Island card. She draws the card Vengeful Totem, Danger Magic. Pulling aside the branches, you are faced with a hideous creation, its dark eyes full of rage. You should not have come here. Make an Honor 6+ test and gain 3 investigation for every 6 rolled. If failed, you are cursed. take the Curse of the Werewolf card. Oh no. I hope we can pass this. Lucy has an honor of 4 right now. So she'll be able to roll 4 dice for this test. I don't have any event cards that are going to be able to help, so we'll have to do it with this dice roll. Hopefully we get a 6. Here's her honor roll. And we failed. So Lucy has become cursed. So Lucy gains the Curse of the Werewolf. At the start of each mystery phase, place a transformation marker on this card, unless you're KO'd. When there are 4 markers here, remove them and flip the card. You have become a werewolf hero. Curses may be cured at the doctor's office, and we can also cure them at the widow's cottage as well on the coast board. So, well, that is what it is. She is cursed. And that's going to bring her turn to a close. We'll move on to Anne Marie. She is at the manor. She has 1 wound and 1 investigation. Okay, Anne Marie has a cavalry horse. We'll be adding 1 to her move roll. She rolls a 2, so that'll be modified to a 3. Okay, 3 movement points. Now we got to be careful. We don't want to get within 2 of that Barghast hound. I think I'll start making her way over towards the windmill. So we'll have her move 1, 2, and 3 to the road space. And that is going to bring her turn to a close. And with it, the hero phase is complete. Heinrich Cartwright is going to resolve the first step, which is adding a dread token and making a roll. We've got 3 dread tokens, so we need to roll a 4 or greater, otherwise we're going to have a epic villain encounter. We've rolled a 5, so we have managed to avoid that for the time being. Now the Barghast hounds are going to move to the nearest characters. Barghast hound at the town hall will move 2 spaces closer to Anne Marie, and the Barghast hound at the crossroads area will move towards Harlow Morgan, 2 spaces. We also have 1 on the coast board. There are no heroes on that board, so he's going to move to the closest one he can go to. So it'll be 1 and 2, I guess. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I guess he'll move through the town onto the beach. Now Harlow is going to resolve the cooperative mystery phase chart roll. 2d6. Result is an 8. Let's see what we got. Result of an 8 is murder. Murder. Draw a random location, place 3 investigation, move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. And this counts as though the mystery card murder has been played for the villain's ability. So villain is going to make his evil ride. Let's see where this is going to start at. And this will begin at the barracks. Okay, the barracks on the coast board. Shadow track is going to move 1 step. We're down to 11. So we're going to place 3 investigation at the barracks, and the Spectral Horseman will begin his ride there. Well, we've gotten pretty lucky because the Spectral Horseman is going to ride through across the Echo Lake board to the town hall, and it won't affect any of our characters, which is awesome. So he's going to go on his relentless charge, but nobody will be impacted. That is great. And we'll draw our mystery card. We have Haunted Ground, Mystery Haunting. Draw a random location and place a haunted marker there. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. The flavor text reads, "Folks seem strange things down in those parts. I wouldn't go down there unless we had no other choice." Okay, let's draw a layer card and find out where this is taking place. And this is going to happen at the windmill. So we're going to be placing a haunted marker there. And the shadow track is going to drop a space. So we'll take care of that. Shadow track drops to 10 now. We're 50% of the way through exhausting that. So a haunted marker appears at the windmill. Now haunted markers, it states, a haunted marker represents a space being haunted by a particularly vicious ghost. Limit of 1 haunted marker per space. Any hero who enters a space with the haunted marker, even if just moving through, or lingering must roll a d6. On a roll of 1 or 2, they are attacked by the haunting. All right, and there is an option that if we choose to, we can hunt down the ghost. As an action, a hero in a space with a haunted marker may make a spirit or cunning 5+ test, and if successful, they can fight the haunting as though they had rolled a 1 or 2 while moving through the space. So that is the situation with the haunting. That is going to bring the turn to a close. We'll move the first player marker to Harlow Morgan, and that will complete the round. Well, so far we're holding our own. Shadow Track is at 10, but we have managed to get upgrades for Harlow Morgan and Lucy Hanbrook. Unfortunately, Lucy has the curse of the werewolf right now, so she's going to need to try to get healed from that. There's also a haunting that just appeared at the windmill, and we have 3 Barghast hounds that are pursuing us. And we don't have enough equipment right now to really effectively combat them. So we need to try to get some type of combat bonus. Now, Anne-Marie does have the cavalry horse. We could have her try to charge at this thing. She would be getting a total of 3 combat dice, and she'd be able to maybe take out the Barghast hound. I don't know. But we just don't have enough combat ability, and we need to find those things. So that's what I think we'll be doing in the next episode, is trying to advance our combat ability. I'm going to bring this episode to a close, and we'll regroup with episode 3 of our playthrough of A Touch of Evil, 10-year anniversary edition, against the epic version of the Spectral Horseman. This is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club signing off and wishing everyone a pleasant evening. Good night.